Hi guys, my name is Ebenezer. You can call me Ebby for short. Today we're going to be making rice pilaf. Rice pilaf is a method of cooking. It's when the alliums and aromatics are cooked along with the rice first before you add the water or stock, whichever liquid you choose to use to finish off the cooking process.
All right, so let's get started. The alliums I'm going to use for this rice pilaf recipes are 1/2 red onion. This was left over in the fridge, so I'm just going to incorporate it in the recipe. 1 whole yellow onion. If you have shallots and you prefer to use shallot, you can use shallot in this recipe too. I'm going to add garlic to mine. And of course, since we're doing rice pilaf, we're going to need rice. I'm using about 1 quart of rice, and I'm doing a ratio of 1 to 1, so 1 quart rice to 1 quart water. But I made sure my water was a little above 1 quart of the rice. The reason for this is because I'm going to be boiling the water ahead of time. So with boiling, the water is gonna evaporate, right? So in a sense, I'm gonna lose some of the water percentage due to evaporation. All right. When it comes to cooking rice, the amount of water ratio to rice is very important because too much water will make the rice too soft, and little amount of water is gonna not cook the rice completely, or it's gonna be too hard. Once everything is mixed out, I like to get started on the onions and start chopping everything. We're doing medium dice. So yeah, as you can see right here, that's what I'm doing. Cutting all the onions, and make sure you don't cut your fingers when you're cutting the onions. It should look something like this, right? Go straight into a bowl. I have 2 bowls, one for scraps and one for my finished product. Ideally, you should have the water on the stove right now. You should get the water going hot, so by the time you finish chopping all your mise en place, the water should be ready to be used in the recipe. If you're using chicken stock, same thing. You can have the chicken stock boiling, and you can start chopping everything like I'm doing right now. At this point, I'm gonna wash my rice. My mise en place is already chopped. I'm washing my rice. As you can see, my water is about to start boiling right now, and my pan is on hot. I add my oil. Make sure your pan is hot. Then you add all the alliums together. Get it going. Sweat it out. Make sure it's transparent. All right. So that's the goal here. The goal here is to make sure the alliums are all transparent before I add my rice to it. All right. So at this point, I'm just gonna make sure I add a little bit more oil. It looks like you need a little bit more oil, and I season it with a little bit of salt, not too much because I still haven't added the rice yet. Um, yeah, and then I want to toss it. You don't necessarily have to toss it. You can just use a spoon to mix everything, incorporate everything. If you don't know how to toss it, you can just use a spoon to mix everything together. Now, as you can see, it's getting transparent. It's getting a little more transparent. Um, we're getting closer to the point where we need to add the rice. All right, we can finally add our rice, and we're gonna toast the rice a little bit. We're not going to add the water just yet. We're gonna give it a little toast. I like to stir the rice with a wooden spoon because a metal spoon will just scrape the metal part of the pan. So I'm using a wooden spoon to stir everything and also to not make sure the bottom part burn. At this point will be a great time to add your aromatics. If you have like Bayleaf, thyme, I added Staranise to mine and Bayleaf. That was it. Then I added my boiling water. At this point, I added turmeric. You see how the water level has gone down, but it's still boiling. That's the point. You want to lower the heat and cover it. Make sure it's fully covered when you cover it. All right. And at this point, you can do whatever you have to do next. Like I'm chopping my cilantro. That's gonna garnish. And in about 8 to 10 minutes, go and check on the rice and stir it again. Make sure you stir everything and leave room for it to steam. All right. You want to make sure you kind of stir everything together and then close it again so that it can fully cook. If you don't stir it, some part is not gonna cook and some part is gonna cook. So you want to stir everything together, then cover it back again until it's cooked. Now, after I finish cooking, I like to put it in a bowl to let it cool down. But for the plating, I like to keep the rice in the bowl and mold it and then just flip it in a plate, just like this. And I'm eating it with salmon today, roasted salmon with tomato sauce, garnished with cilantro, with lemon wedge on the side. Look how beautiful it is. Thank you for watching.